Hey guys, Mr. Larson here. Today we're going to calculate what our first paycheck is going to be based off being paid monthly and using the career you did for your Chapter 1 project and the salary that went along with that. So this document is provided for you. It should look identical to this on Google Classroom. So anything that's in blue, we're going to type in information, and then anything that's orange, I'm actually going to teach you guys how to put in a formula or an equation that does calculations like kind of behind the scenes on this spreadsheet. So this is Google Sheets. It's part of Google Drive. You guys all have access to this. There's also a really popular Microsoft product called Microsoft Excel. That's another spreadsheet where it's got like these grids that I kind of grew up with, and that is still a pretty big software that's used for spreadsheets. It's a lot of the same formulas and directions, whether this was Google Sheets like we're looking at or the other product, which is Microsoft Excel. So anything in blue, like I said, we'll put our information in. So employee name, that's you. So for this one, I'll say Mr. Larson. Occupation, I'll say teacher. This is where you would put your job in from the Chapter 1 project. Annual income. If you type something more than 75,000, because that was the number that we said for the project for the maximum, it's going to give you an error message. So some of you might have forgotten that that was the max, 75,000 for the purpose of the project. So if you did a career that makes like 100,000, just lower it for the purpose of this to 75,000. I'll put a different number in, 52,000. Okay, so blue is where we're typing in exactly what we want to see in the cell. Each one of these little boxes is called a cell. For the orange ones, we're going to always start by hitting the equal sign, and that's going to use the spreadsheet as a calculator. So my annual income is 52,000. I want to find my monthly. So what we want to do is divide that 52,000 by 12. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to hit equals. You can see that equal sign there. Then I'm going to select the 52,000 divided by, which is right next to my shift key. It's the slash. It's on the same key as the question mark. There's no divided by symbol on here, so that's what we'll use for that. And then I'm going to divide it by 12. And I think yours will do this too. It kind of shows you what the cell is going to show you when I hit enter. So I hit enter. That's 4,333 and 33 cents. This is nice because you can change the income now, and that monthly income will change with it. Because whatever's in this cell, like if I change that to 75,000, this will divide 75,000 by 12. So it's kind of nice if you change your mind, or if you're doing a different project altogether and you need to constantly be changing something, you can have these calculations behind the scenes, which is nice. So I'll go 52,000 for mine. I make 4,333 for my monthly income. And then the next part is the taxes that are going to come out. Remember, these get withheld from your paycheck so that you don't have to budget this on your own. And I want to do 20% for federal. That's an approximation. The more money you make, the higher your tax rate's going to be. But we'll just say on average, it's about 20% of your income. 4.95% is a flat tax rate for Illinois, regardless of how much money you make. And then FICA tax, that's the Social Security. That's the same for everybody unless you're self-employed. It's actually double of that 7.65%. We'll talk about that when we get to our Social Security section. So in the orange box next to this 20%, I want to find 20% of my monthly income so I know the amount of money that's coming out of my paycheck. So hit the equals key and then go over, I just hit the left arrow, or you can click on the 20%. For multiply, I'm going to do 20% times my monthly income. Shift 8, it's like a little star or an asterisk. That's the multiplication sign. Don't use the X key, it didn't work for me. And then I want to select the other cell that I want to multiply. So this is doing 20% times 4,333. After you hit enter, it may suggest an autofill. I'm going to say no. Hit the X button. And we see, okay, based on making 52,000, I'm going to pay 866 bucks a month. That'll get withheld from my paycheck for taxes. Same process for these next two boxes. So equals, then I want to select the 4.95%. Shift 8 gets me that times button. Select the monthly income number, hit enter, and I see my state income taxes. That should be significantly less than the federal because the rate is a lot less. It's 20% compared to 5%, $866 compared to $214. Same thing for FICA, equals, select this cell, times with shift 8, this monthly income cell, hit enter. So you can see these three numbers that are going to get withheld from my monthly pay. Total taxes, I want to now add these three numbers up. Okay, so I'm going to hit equals. It's going to guess what you want to, the computer thinks it's smarter than us, and it actually is pretty good here. That's exactly what I want to type in, but I'm going to ignore that. I'm just going to do sum, S-U-M, and once you start typing, you'll see all these options come up. You can select one, and then I'll do parentheses, and I want to, if you select this 866, hit shift and go down, down. Now I have all three of these selected. Okay, so again, you can select the top one, hit shift, down, down, that'll get all three of them. Close your parenthesis, hit enter, and this should equal those all added up. Okay, so now again, if I change this 52,000 to 60,000, everything's going to recalculate based on that new number. Okay, that's a benefit of having the spreadsheet do the calculations for you. Deductions, these are examples. You may or may not have a career that has a union. You may or may not have insurance provided, but we're going to assume, so that we do have some deductions, that I have these two deductions coming out. So let's go to the total deductions. Let's hit equals, sum, parenthesis, select the top cell, hit shift down until both are selected, hit enter, 125 bucks. Finally, we want to find the, this should say personal deductions. I'll update that on yours. Personal deductions. Paycheck amount. Okay, here's paycheck amount. We want to take our monthly income, subtract our total taxes, subtract our personal deduction. So in this orange cell next to the paycheck amount, hit equals. Go select the monthly income orange cell. Then we do minus taxes, so select the total taxes cell, minus again, and select the personal deduction cell. So it should say C5, the way they do that. C5 means going to column C, row 5, that's where to find the monthly income. But if you click it, it just inserts it in there by itself. Once you have that plugged in, hit enter, and you should see right here your total paycheck amount. We're going to use that number to get a paycheck today. So feel free to rewind this, ask us questions if you need to, but that is your mini lesson on building formulas into a spreadsheet. Thanks, guys.